a thing when you listen to us. It's clear and keen.
So there.
Tune into Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's never a bore.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do. We cover the issues from all across the land. Our team of experts provides views also grand, from politics to sports and everything in between. You won't miss a thing when you listen to us. It's clear.
In 19 minutes.
So
It's the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's the thing to do.
To be a part of the show, drop us a message or two. Just send a text to 090-001-005. We'll come through. Or leave a comment on our Facebook page. With Today in 19 Minutes, you will be the sage. So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM.
The woman, the radio.
It's the thing to do.
Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's another edition of our daily current affairs program, Today 90 Minutes, where we bring you in-depth analysis and discussions on the latest happenings across the country. You can also get us live on our Facebook page, HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM, the Umadem Radio, and also on our YouTube channel, HandsofHope Radio, and on our Instagram page, at HandsofHope Radio. We are broadcasting live from our studio at 28 Batik Street, King Tommy, Freetown. I'm your host for today's episode, Erica Ruth Bangoa. Well, our inspirational quote for today is coming from Ronald Reagan, and it says, "Preservation of our environment is not a liberal or conservative challenge, it's common sense." Well, in today's edition of the program, Today 90 Minutes, Media Matters for Women Sierra Leone marks a decade of empowering women and girls in Sierra Leone. And CBM's Sierra Leone training sparks inclusive revolution for persons with disabilities in community development. Well, in the program this morning, we have a special guest with us in the studio. I am thrilled to introduce Joseph Vincent, who is the Communications Director for the Youth Climate Action Network Sierra Leone. Joseph is here to shed light on an incredible topic, youth-led solutions for climate change resilience in Sierra Leone. This is an important topic, and this is an opportunity for us to delve into the remarkable work that young people in Sierra Leone are doing to combat climate change and also enhance resilience in their community. Joseph Vincent will share insights into the impactful projects and initiatives they have been involved in and how youth of Sierra Leone can play a pivotal role in addressing this pressing global issue. Good morning, welcome to the program, Joseph.
Good morning. Thank you.
All right, continue to stay with us in the studio. Well, these and more are lined up in today's edition of the program. Today, 90 minutes. Continue to stay with us for the next 1 hour, 20 minutes.
It's early in the morning, but we are feeling just fine. So there in 90 minutes, it's early in the morning, but we are feeling just fine. So there in 90 minutes, get us all in line. News, views, and entertainment galore. Tune into Hands of Hope Radio 100.5 FM. It's never a bore.
So there in 19 minutes, the current affairs show. Join us every weekday from 7 to 8:30. We know we bring the latest news and analysis too.
Just tune in to Hands of Hope Radio
in 90 minutes live on HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM, and we are broadcasting live from our studios at 28 Battery Street, Kingdom in Freetown. You can also get us live on our Facebook page, HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM, the Umagem Radio, on our YouTube channel, HandsofHope Radio, and also on our Instagram page at HandsofHope Radio. You can contribute to the program by sending your text message to the number 090001005 or 078162461, 078162461, or you can drop your text messages, your comments on our Facebook page or on our YouTube channel. We'll start the program proper with our first story. Mary Sonsiama Foyo, the dedicated gender desk officer at the Corridor New Sembao City Council, has affirmed the council's unwavering commitment to aligning with government policies aimed at addressing the challenges faced by women and girls in the district. In an exclusive interview with our reporter, Joseph Alfred Goma, she shed light on pressing issues such as early marriage, teenage pregnancy, violence against women and girls, and the denial of their rights to assets in Kono District. Well, stay tuned, let's learn more about the pivotal role of the Gender Desk Office in advocating for women's rights and empowerment in the region.
We know say we get a issue around with woman them and the girl picking them far too long. So for sister we go able to bridge the gap and make we then create the gender unit so that we could do this specifically for make sure say anything concern woman and girl picking them, where they do with policies, where they do with implementation, we take action. Like governments now they send money to local councils to the MDAs them where they implement. So we for make sure say any money where government is send, they forget the gender lens. In the sense, we for take the need of the women into consideration. The ministries and departments within the other council, as far as governments the money, neither they implement this country money, and for make sure say and for mainstream gender. Even issues that we then go to court, we then go to police if they drag as council before make sure say this gender unity for make sure say we send voice to in partnership and see say the people that we then get their rights, make them get the rights. The one that way they wrong, let them pay for the wrongdoing.
So as a council, what na student team wanna say ki happen to woman and girl picking them, who wanna say the MDAs them other partners them actually ki intervening.
13 and 2 boku. You know, when we talk about gender issues and in 2 boku, one, we look at early marriage. You know, say before this year with tradition called say we begin girl picking school not too much good for because he puts himself school now waste. So before this year, boy picking them the focus on for saying school and we look at dandy and then not be the take age consideration. I'll accept the picking small, then can go marry down to old bar. Then as long as some of them feel say this man don't come out to say one they picking, then they became consent. So we they look at and say, no, you know, correct. They begin for the of age before ever they begin get into marriage. So we they look at teenage pregnancy. Then they damage we picking them future because if girl picking them, this time in fact, if girl picking get belly, and maybe they go school now. Nowadays, no man where we don't they get education now. See, you know, Alexa picking get belly, he still will go back school. But before this time, we on culture and see gets belly, they don't end. So we they fight against them. Then they say the pikin will go to school if for staying at school, and we see outside woman the way they married, the way their man then die, we they see them they drive them come on a house. Or either if we're married to one party man and brother them by force, whether he like her or not like him, if we're married it because now that could allow one for make it get access to within a man be done left or within a two be done vex for. Because you know born when the man died, then they drive and come on a streets, then they forget all the years when the lady be young, this man be done young, he don't spend all in life with this man so now God not get picking and we not so in fault. But then they take us in the woman in fault, then they drive and come on. Sometimes they even say now witch, some man they might treat the woman go abandon her, every go get belly left her. So you find out so go a lot of single parents there. Then they roam around the street. They picking and they roam around the streets because the man there most times when they give belly, then forget for time. You look rape, man then they rape picking them anyhow. Picking they don't lost their life out of Gandhi. Some picking they don't then they are alive, but they know wherever born picking again. Some picking not infected with HIV and other disease them out of Gandhi. Even woman before this cancer, you not get access, you go get money, but when one land if you know go get and say need forget man. Woman want for rent house, he get money, but then go say no, we get for bring come man. You want trust money, you don't go, you they do business all anything, but somebody go say no, we not they give you bring come man, let's stand as guarantee. All anything and they be they humiliate the woman them.
So then some way and light so nothing way they happen at all the streets, especially under one unit when at the Kwedo New City Council.
Of course, it dey happen. That's the way they happen every now and then. Yeah, and that make we get partnership forums. We get partnership when we meet in a partnership meeting. You know, we all entire can come up. And no go come up na the office. You know, go get that matter day. But the social welfare go complain about that. Gembo go complain about that. Other institutions, the organizations, they go complain about that.
And at times when you go to them partners, them even the ministry, they will tell you to then get challenged when it comes to the issue of developing of them issues and they una as a council, what not the support una can provide to then keep partners them una can work with.
So we our government for make sure say we bring in policies them. Policies there where then they help because if we they fight a cause, but you need to forget a policy where they guide you, where they support you. Like if it is the election we pass, you see we get more women when they come on board because they say every political party forgive 30%. Now because of policies. If you just talk and they with the woman, they will not fight so long. Other institutions they don't help you. We get people for Chile when a man there, when they fight this cause that we all don't go on so many years. But if policy, the way they support owner, they're not able for work. So we as council, they support all they put to them partners, all they give to them partners. I am government. So we don't do policies that we don't bring them out.
We still get woman them and gal picking them none of the pathway for completion of them issues and waking up to the way jobs are like so. Which will be a message to the general public on them issues in it?
Well, to the general public, I want to let them know, say, we dey cancel them, we dey continue for sensitize the market them. But tell them, say, when this happen to you, you get a right for go complain. If somebody tamper with you, you can at Rainbow Center, you can at FSU, you go meet people in there, where they work with you, where they go provide all the services the way you need. You married to a man, if they beat you continuously, or if they abuse, you get speaking, you abuse and continuously, that picking themselves get rights for being you complain.
All right, and in that interview with our correspondent, Alfred Joseph Kuma, is Mary Sonsian Mafoyo, the gender desk officer at the Koidu New Semberon City Council. Don't forget you're listening to the program today, 90 minutes, live on HandsofHope Radio 100.5 FM in Freetown. You can also be part of the program by sending your text message to the number 079 0900010005 or 078 Like I informed you earlier that we have in the studio Joseph Vincent, who is the communication director for the Youth Climate Action Network Sierra Leone, and he is here to talk on the topic youth-led solutions for climate change resilience in Sierra Leone. Good morning, welcome to the program once again.
Thank you.
I'm good. All right, so for our listeners and viewers out there hearing about the name youth-led for climate change resilience and all for climate change network Sierra, right? Just give us a brief background. Tell us more about this organization and what has been the pivotal role you have been playing in addressing climate change in Sierra Leone.
Yeah, I think climate action here has to do with the guiding of young people to see how best we can make advocation for climate change and other things around youth. Okay, and also one of the key things we have been doing is to see how best we can also talk to community heads to see how best they can reduce the rate at which climate change is increasing in the country. I think climate change is more likely to be some of these things in our organization.
All right, so you only do community engagement. Are there any other initiatives?
Yeah, we do community engagements. We talk about disaster flow management and other things, flood mitigation and all. We embark in all of these things as an organization.
Okay, so we know it's very clear that young people are taking the lead in the fight against climate change. So, what are some of the specific examples of the innovative solutions and also projects initiated by your organization to combat climate change in Sierra Leone and also to build resilience in these communities that you are?
Yeah, I think like I submitted just now to you, some of the things we engage in is how to engage young people and also community heads. And we do partner with a lot of organizations like YADO and other organizations. And we do involve in tree planting. Like I think I could still recall there was a time, is it the Freetown City? They embark on this tree town campaign. I think we were one of the leading organizations that were there to see how best we can support the idea. And most of the time, we make community engagement, symposium, and some conferences regarding climate change and other things.
So, are there any specific impacts because of positive impact because of these your engagements in these communities?
Yeah, I think people have come to the realization that we need to change our mindset as to how we use some of these trees. You know, people are in the idea of self they can just cut down trees randomly without planting new trees and other things. And so they have been able to get the realization that okay, instead of me involving in this fossil fuels like burning things, charcoal and other things, let me use clean energy. Let me more especially for those in the province, you know, they should have that kind of mindset, and that is what we have been able to engage on, reaching out to them, telling them because we realize that two-thirds of the people inside them are still using this charcoal and wood, more especially, except for that of the Western area. Some people are using gas and other things, but they have been able to see best they can minimize, and we have evidence to the effect that the communities that we have engaged are tend to see best they can match up to the trend that we are working
What are
towards.
these evidence you're talking about?
Like we have some records of this thing, and most of the time we do visibility studies in this area to follow up to see how best they have been able to manage themselves. And so you can find out that in these areas, in these communities, now they have this kind of bins or trash cans wherein they can put their remains and see how best they can use it, recycle them for clean energy. And you know, some of these things, when you put some of this energy, this waste, some can be processed, some cannot be processed. Like let's say the fish, some of the things you use, the plazas, other things, you know, when you take some of these things and then put them in a container for some certain period of time, you understand that they will diminish. And if you're able to get this kind of gas, tube, and so you can use some of these things to sell best, you can have clean energy. And so some of them are adapting to this change. Although it's quite challenging, but they are still working on it and they are still on it.
Okay, for someone listening to you and will be like, so this one for make me go put charcoal now for go sell for feed me picking. I have to do this and this, and I just have to cut down trees. And Usagi will go to Emi.c. I just leave for put and so on. Those things. Usagi, do I make a come out now? Usagi, they will hold me better place. All of those things. So, what are some of the negative effects of the misuse of the environment to climate change?
Yeah, as you rightly say, some of those things like maybe like my auntie in the public will say, this we not think say we are accustomed to this, which has been a challenge, okay? So it's about meeting the threshold. Okay, that's one concern to see how best we can create an ecosystem that is very, very ideal for the entire country, okay, and the world as a whole. So one of the things we are able to see that come to the realization is on how we can help people. No, you don't need these big things. All you need, you can dig a pit
Okay.
in your compound. You dig a pit and see how best you can put some of these remains inside there. Find something like a container cover that you can put and to see how best in certain period of days you see that this thing is no more. They have already drained to something. Instead of you putting some of these things like once there is rain, you see people trying to take some of these remains and throw them in the gutter, and this can cause, you know, floods and other things. Whilst they all meet at the oceans and other thing, you realize that the fish in the water will start losing their lives and other things. And a lot of things will happen as a result of that. But once you're able to salvage, you can manage some of these things you're using in your kitchen, you're using in your environment, in your household, you're able to manage them. You're not equally in the position to burn them, which will cause another effect also. Or you put them in a place where you can be able to control them. Sometimes you have to make some of these things. Okay, for us to say our best, we can be able to have something ideal, and for us to be able to have a better environment.
All right, earlier on, you are making mention of people can use these waste products for something else that will be beneficial to them or their communities. So, have you ever like worked with organization to bring innovative ideas, how to use? Because we see some people use this plastic to make tile. They have these things that they use
Yeah.
these things for. So have you ever come together to bring these innovative ideas like, okay, these are idea, let's work on this in order to combat climate change?
Yeah, I think there was a time we have a beach night wherein we have to bring people on board that can talk about some of these things. Like we realize that it takes some time, certain period of time, more than a year, for this rubber plastic to diminish or to change into something else. So imagine having people that can gather these things together and salvage, they can refine them to make plastic, to make tiles and other things. It's so much in place. And so what we do as an organization most of the time, because our organization is situated around the east, so we try to salvage, we gather young people, bring them together and salvage we can help these people to have a platform, not only us, but them having a platform to sell best. They can talk to the communities. Okay, you can have this idea, you can have this thing in your house. Instead of you using it this way, you can equally manage it and convert it into the use of this. I think that has been a help also. And so most of the times also when the youth ministry are youth um summit, and so we do carry some young people here to sell best. Some are good innovators, some can sell best, they can manage things and help society with their ideas. I think these are some of the things we have been able to embark on also. More especially a privileged conversation, which is to be some symposium with community people most of the times.
Right.
Yeah.
We see young people who have a larger population in the country. So how do you engage young people when it comes to using their environment safely in order not to create negative impacts to their communities, the environment?
So one of the things I do realize is that young people have the idea, they have the potential, but they don't want to like involve themselves. It is more likely now that young people are taking the lead, which we are happy about. So having young people in that position has been like we send out our ideas in the form of flyers. We talk to people. We send out our links. People who are interested, people who are in need of this, and so once they come, we use these people as auxiliary, whilst we are the main source, and see how best we can achieve some of these things.
Right, so youth engagement is very essential, but how can young people who may not be part of your organized group still make a difference in the fight against climate change? Like, what can they do at their individual level?
Yeah, and our organization has been kind of unique and different. So we came to the realization that even the time like we were supposed to volunteer for that of the electricity, Silent Admin electricity. I think that was a year ago, and the former president for Liberia was here, and we were part of that project. We do volunteer. We were able to present up to 60 young people just from our organization, just not to be partakers of the event and to service they can go back to their various communities. These are heads of organizations and other groups and forums in their schools and all. So we were able to have a workshop, a training, after which we went to the field, we planted trees, we came all the way to Kington and all the way to tree planting at Foibe College and all. So we were able to sell best they can land and go to their community and give back to their communities.
Alright, so Joseph, you've been engaged in so many activities, but can you highlight one that you're particularly proud of and explain how it positively impacts climate resilience in Sierra Leone or the community that you work in?
Yeah, I think the one that we are very proud of has to be that of the tree planting. Yeah, yeah. I think the director is more passionate about that because we came to the realization that one tree can give good atmosphere to 4 different people, okay, in a day, just one tree. So if we're able to have so much tree in Freetown, we believe that the climate change will be very, very, very different. Considering like that was the time I had the privilege to visit Rwanda. I think that was a year ago. And I did realize that Rwanda has so many trees in the city. And due to that, there was so much of cool climate in the country. You'll be in under the sun, you'll not be feeling that kind of heat. It's very cold and so. So I think one of the things when we embarked, she was part of the team. One of the things when we embarked on that, they said when we came back, these are the things we are going to make our priority. And so we have been working towards that. It's in our page. Like most of the time, we don't need to meet organizations. Like most of the organization, we don't meet Ayado, like the city council for them to provide tea for us. We do realize that in those swampy areas, if we're able to come together, make a campaign, and see how best we can plant trees, this can be of great sense to those communities. It can
Okay, so